Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is Benjamin, and welcome to another. I'm really not sure what to call this video actually. It's going to be kind of like a pixel art tutorial, kind of like a Godot tutorial. It's going to be a little bit of a mixture of both. I'm going to be showing you my workflow for implementing new effects into the game that I'm working on with my brother called Demonlocke. So let me show you here the effect that I want to implement. So if I enter a battle with my demon and I use the scrape attack right here, you can see that it stuns the opponent, and that stun lasts for one turn, so they don't get a move on their turn. And it has a little effect where it just shows like the stun icon come off of them like that to show that they weren't able to move. But I want to have like some sort of a lightning effect to show that they're stunned and they can't move. So that's what I'm going to be creating in Aseprite and then implementing into the game. And I'm going to show you my process for how I would go about doing that. So first, let's open up Aseprite. And this is about the size that I get for this character for each of the demons in the game. It's about 48 high and 64 wide. And so I'd like to have some sort of a lightning effect that comes and on either side of the enemy, I'm thinking. So maybe something like that. And I'm trying to use a graphics tablet right now. I don't normally do that, so I'm just giving it a try. I have one here that I'm going to try. So we want some of these to be thicker than the others. And I'd like this to be one larger for some of this. And we'd have some little effects coming off of some of these in places as well. Not that one, didn't like that one. Like this. Okay, so here's a starting frame that I can potentially use here. And we'll want to animate this. And I think maybe having it kind of alternate, so like one of them comes in first and then the other one a little bit. We'll see. If we can get something like that. So let's get our eraser. And is that one coming in? Let's duplicate this frame right here. That was actually the wrong frame. I'd rather, let's see. So we want this frame, we want to move it. And then we want to duplicate this one right there. And then we'll erase some of this. Maybe I did want that one. I'm gonna move this frame. So this is just them kind of vanishing, alternating. Like that. And I think what we'll do is turn on onion skinning here. And switch back to my smaller brush size. And see if we can have an effect where they come in as well. Let's erase these. Grab this one, stick it here. Add some to it. And then we'll have this one come in too. Have the other bolt come in a little bit. Okay, something like that. It's not the greatest animation I've ever done, but it's better than the one that I already have, so I think the one thing that could make it just a little bit better without a lot of work is adding a bit of a motion to these. Let's see, we can go into this frame here. Okay, we've got a nice motion on the first one. Let's see if we can get a little bit of motion on the second one. I think we could get some motion here that could be cool. Okay, that's good enough. So we've got a nice little animation here. And it needs to have, because we're going to have an outline on it, or else it won't be visible on top of the characters. So I'll probably do a black outline. I'll switch off my graphics, or my Wacom tablet here. And it was just a cheap little bamboo one, but I actually liked it. It was kind of interesting to do that. So now we'll add our outline here. We'll go to effects, outline. Okay, and well, we wanted to outline the entire thing, so we need to select it all, I think. The effects, outline, and you can add, you can kind of choose to put some, you can kind of choose how you want it to outline, which is interesting. And I think maybe if I do one up in the top right hand corner as well, that could make the outline a little bit more interesting for our lightning. Let's turn off the onion skinning. Okay, I don't know that that's the effect that I want, but we'll put it in game and see. Sometimes you just don't know until you put it in the game. And I'll just do a normal outline. Not with the extra line there. Okay. And we'll do, so I'm going to export this as a sprite sheet. I need to choose where it is. So we'll come into effects and we'll stick it. Let's see, is it in? Yeah, we'll do this as stunned effect. And export it as a sprite sheet. Then I can come into Godot here. And I have an effect scene that I'm going to inherit from. So we'll do new inherited scene. We'll come into effects and I'll choose effect. Now the base effect scene doesn't have a lot to it. I'll show you just so you can see what it has. It's basically just an animated sprite, and then it plays on ready and destroys itself when the animation is finished. So that's all it really does. There's nothing too fancy about this. Then we'll call this stunned effect, and we'll find our stunned effect image, and this is the old one. So we can actually just delete the old one now. Just delete those. Let's see, it says we're using it in monster UI.gd, so let's go monster UI.gd. Come and get it. We'll just comment this out for a second. It'll get mad at us, but that's okay. We can just comment this out too. Okay, now we can delete these. Oh, we gotta save. And it wants us to save the stunned effect, but that's okay. So we can delete the old ones now. There we go. And then our stun effect needs, the new stun effect needs this. Oh, we need to create our sprite frames. And then we can just import in. So once again, it's an animated sprite. So then I create frames, come into our default animation, and just find our effects. Stunned effect right here. And this one's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frames horizontally and 1 vertically. And select all frames. And now we have our stun effect. Can play it. Like that. And it's pretty slow. We'll probably want to speed it up since it's supposed to be lightning. Might even do 15 here. Let's try 10 for now. We'll save it as at 10. Save our stun effect. Now we can come back into the enemy monster UI, or the monster UI. We want to do it as this. And come into here. We can uncomment that now. And we can uncomment this. Problem is, it's not loading it from the right place anymore because it's going to be in effects. So we'll just do that. Make sure it loads it. Battle, let's see. We don't need battle, just effects. Effects, stun effect. Okay, now let's test. See if I actually got it in the game properly. If we can ever encounter a monster here, or a demon. Deals damage, then we get, oh, the stunned effect didn't work. So, it didn't work because I have it as playing right now. I want to set it on frame 0 and not have it playing. There we go, let's try this again. There we go, and now we have the stunned effect. So that looks better than what I had before. It still might need some work. I'd like to rework it and improve it, but that gives you the general idea of my workflow between Aseprite and Godot. So I'll come in, make an animation, save it as an animated, or save it as a sprite sheet, and then I'll have, you know, a sprite that's an animated sprite, and I'll import in the frames like this, and then I will create that in battle. So when I'm preloading the effect here in the monster UI, and when it is stunned, it just creates the stunned effect and then waits until that stunned effect has finished. So there's kind of a pause in the game before the next thing happens while the effect is playing. It will wait for the effect to finish playing while it pauses. There you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and learned something from it, found it useful. If you did, be sure to give it a like and leave a comment down below if you have any questions, and I will talk to you all later.